Welcome to Level 1 Restoration Behind the Scenes. We're here today out in the alley with something a little bit different. We've got a 71 Baja Bronco. So it's a Bill Strop converted Ford Bronco, and these are really special units. I like to refer to them when I'm talking to muscle car guys to say it's like a Yenko Camaro, except it's a Ford Bronco. So basically the idea was a lot the same. This is a street version of their racing, off-road racing Baja Broncos that they did in the 60s and 70s and beyond. So they took some of the modifications that they were using in racing and applied them to a street version, making these a pretty cool vehicle. So I think altogether they made 500 and some of these between 1971 and 1975. They made, give or take 100 a year of them. But a 71 is really special because 71s and 72s in particular, because in 73 Ford started offering an automatic transmission. That wasn't available on a Ford Bronco until then. You could also get through Strop. You would order your Bronco, it would go to California and get converted to a Baja. And so you could get a power steering, you could get an automatic transmission, you could get power brakes. None of those things could come on a regular Ford Bronco, and that's part of what makes these Bajas so special. In addition to that, they got, you could get a tow bar. They had these bumper braces here on the front bumper. You could get a cactus smasher, they called them, to protect the grill. They had that thick steering wheel, foam wrapped steering wheel. They all had the swing away, for the most part, rear spare with the Baja Bronco decal on the back of the tire cover, which is a really cool thing. And they were primarily all Bronco Sports, so they had this side trim and they had the 3-color combo going with them. And then they flat blacked the hood at Strop. And so they were really very special cars that you could order and get, and they would do pretty good off-road. In addition to some of those things I just mentioned, you would get either a widened white painted Ford wheel, or you could get that chromed, or you could order aluminum wheels like this one has. They would have a roll bar like this one has, larger than what Ford would have offered. It was extended all the way back to the tailgate area. And then if it were an automatic, it would have a really unique steering wheel. So it was a combination of a Ford truck steering column and a Bronco steering column, and there had to be some modifications. And when they had power steering, that was really special too. So it was definitely a lot of hand-done work to create one of these Broncos for off-road racing. The front fenders also were rolled here to give more tire clearance. And then the obvious thing is that they got these wheel flares in the back. So they way opened up the rear wheel opening and put these fiberglass flares on here. And it's kind of neat. This isn't one we've restored, so this is more like a restoration fluff for us. We just made it a little bit nicer. This car went on Bring a Trailer in June, I believe it was, of 2024. And one of our customers, Wayne Schmeckley, bought this vehicle. And he has one of the largest, if not the largest, Baja Bronco collection. And we got to know Willie Strop, which was the son of Bill Strop that was involved in all this off-road racing. And we just got so much cool information out of that, out of Wayne being friends with Willie. And it's been a wonderful thing. And just a quick side note, we are sometimes here at Level 1 Restoration referred to as a GM restoration shop. But really, with all of the Baja Broncos we did, along with some Boss 429s that we're doing, one current and a couple in the past, we've done an awful lot of Fords. It really comes right up there with the #1 amount of cars that we've done. We've done a lot of Fords. But anyway, Back to this cool Baja Bronco here. So this was on, like I said, Bring a Trailer. Wayne bought it, was thinking that another guy, a friend of his, they were going to do some trade, and that didn't end up happening. So it ends up being kind of an extra for Wayne. We made it a little better. We put some side trim on it, and the window frame trim and things that it didn't have. We replaced the door panels with one that looks a lot more like a 71 would have had versus what was in here that had all material instead of the aluminum trim piece here. There's that foam big grip steering wheel I was talking about in the automatic steering column. When these were new, they had like a blonde colored floor mat, which they don't reproduce. We would love, if someone out there watching this says, oh, I have one of those, I'll take it, because you just can't have enough of the original floor mats for these when you do the amount of restoration that we do with these early Baja Broncos. But these are really neat. Also, there's a guy out in California, Andrew Norton. He's done a really good job of tracking these, and he has a registry for these. And there's almost any of these cars you have, if you start describing it to him, he knows all about it. And I think that's BajaBroncos.net, if I'm not mistaken. But they have a really great following. This one's a really good one structurally. And that's probably the worst thing about these. They really got rusty. But this one's cool, has a lot of cool accessories, and totally different from muscle cars that we do a lot with. These Broncos, the community is really open to modifications. And so this one, we'll take a quick look under the hood, but this one just has a few modifications, and that's really welcomed by most of these collectors, like so for drivability. Most of the ones we do, we make them, you know, as absolutely like when they left Bill Strop as possible. But this one's got a modern AC unit on it. It has a brand new carburetor, and the choke works really good, and you know, that's kind of nice. And it's got, you know, newer pulleys and power steering and stuff like that. It's really not frowned upon in this community, and sometimes it's actually a bonus to most of these guys, because these guys like to drive these things, and this really will function off-road pretty well. So it's really neat. And they all had this little 302 engine from the factory. Strop would have accessorized a 4-barrel on these if you ask him to. So this has a, you know, a cast iron 4-barrel intake manifold, or you could have an aluminum. This may even be an aluminum one painted. I didn't even look that close, but man, there was almost no limit to what you could do with one of these when it was even brand new. So something we do a lot here at Level 1. I don't think we've ever did a video on one, but these Baja Broncos are awesome. And this is one, I don't know if it's going to come up for sale or exactly what we're going to do with it, but we have more of these and some Survivors and some Denver Broncos, which is a whole nother thing, but almost the same, that we'll be bringing to you in the future. Because over here at Level 1 Restorations, a Baja Bronco is really a normal thing over here. So anyway, thanks for taking a look at this Bronco. We hope you like something a little bit different from us. And please like and subscribe, and all that really helps us out. And we appreciate your comments, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time around.